I don't care if I get paid $1 billion or 10 cents an hour. Uh, I want to do something that makes me think at least that it's just worthwhile. Working with nature. You know, you can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with working with nature, no matter what you're doing. Uh, if you're planting trees and actively being out there, even being in the garden and nature bathing, being a part of it, the nature wants you to be a part of it, and you should. Like no matter if it starts with a little plant on your desk, working. Just make sure it's a live one. It's got a soul. I'm Kurgen Merrill.
Who is Kurgen Merrill?
A hard worker is what it means. My mom said. And I definitely think I live up to that. I'm a horticulturist. The foreman on probably the most revolutionary building on Staten Island. I actually had the privilege of going onto the property before it was cleared, when it was still untouched woods, and dig out all kinds of high bush blueberries, viburnums, all just the most amazing specimens that would cost like $150 in the nursery, are just all over this land. And the ferns, thousands of ferns. I must have saved like 10,000 ferns, 3 different species. I actually found a rare. It's called Pipsissewaye. We thought it was a woodland orchid, but it turned out to be a pretty rare Pipsissewaye, which we managed to rescue. So spent 2 months digging all these great specimens out of the woods. They clear the land, and the building starts to go up, and we're basically putting all the plants that are dug up right back on the land. Horticulture is basically the study of ornamental, edible plants. I'm definitely very into edible, wild edibles. Just living off the land. Like, I think we should do more. I don't think everybody should live on a farm. Of course not. Cities are actually more. It's more green to live in a city. You drive less. But that's what got me into urban farming. So the green, like, if you could just make a sustaining city. Everybody just grows their own food on the roof. There's so much rooftop in New York City, it kills me. Like, there was a cover of the New Yorker that I've seen. It had just green rooftops, like the utopian city. Everybody was just out watering their rooftop, and that's why coming to New York's one of my favorite memories, because I couldn't do the type of change I do up here down south. There's people too far, few in between, and they're already self-sufficient for the most part. So up here, teach a lot of people about the land that they're on, and connect with the earth. And just, I don't get how people want to pave their driveways. That really irks me. Everybody wants to pave over the driveway because it's easy, and you do it once, but they don't understand that overwhelms the storm systems, and there's too much concrete in this concrete jungle. You gotta rip it up and plant some shit. If you're willing to work hard, it's really rewarding, man. Once you do a landscape, especially the landscapes that I specialize in, there's not much maintenance. I mean, do some before and after pictures of the front yard. I haven't touched the front yard in months, and 10 minutes of work, and it's gonna be looking all right. Nobody pulls weeds in the woods. So, wow, if you can just be smarter than the weeds you're working with, then you can just create a landscape that basically manages itself and creates a small ecosystem. And that's where we gotta start, the small ecosystems, in my opinion. We're wiping out too much fungal diversity with with paving everything, but you know, all it takes is one small stretch of land to just, you know, spread enough spores. You don't need. There's definitely a balance I think we can reach between being in a city and, you know, and creating a utopia paradise where everything's sufficient. Doing horticulture, I didn't know I wanted to be a horticulturist because, you know, I was just a young kid playing in the garden, you know, running around playing with ants and, you know, playing in the dirt since a kid. uh, it was, you know, my mom taught me basically a quarter of the stuff that I still know today. She was smart. She learned it old school, you know, just through her grandmother.
What did you envision running away at 16?
No, basically, like, it all comes back to my mom's parenting. She always taught me to be free, and, you know, don't hurt nobody. Just do whatever you know, do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt nobody. Just be free. Just don't have any expectations, because most of the time they get crushed. You know, and it's like sometimes the less hard you work, the further you get on certain things. So that's, you know, you just gotta let things be. You know, let them come. Don't spend too much time worried. We're only here for a little while. You know, thank you for being here with me for a little while. That's all we got. I never could imagine I'd be living in New York City. You know, the stories we hear down south about New York City, you know, and damn Yankees, that's all you really hear. They don't know. They're 20 years behind. Like, I'm not talking bad about my home state. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Some of the people, you know, they're just old school mentality. You know, they're not willing to learn a whole lot of new things. They think, you know, they know everything.